Unfortunately, this particular image or myth became too much for Western man because it was oppressive. To feel that you are known through and through and watched all the time by an infinitely just judge. I have a friend, a very enlightened woman. She's a Catholic convert, but a very enlightened Catholic. And in her bathroom, she has on the pipe that connects the tank with the toilet seat a little framed picture of an eye. And underneath in Gothic letters is written, "Thou, God, seest me." Everywhere is this eye watching, and judging you. So that you always feel you're never really by yourself. But the old gentleman is observing you and writing notes in his black book. And this became too much for the West. It became oppressive. They had to get rid of it. And so instead, we got another myth. The myth of the purely mechanical universe. This was invented at the end of the 18th century. It became increasingly fashionable throughout the course of the 19th century and well into the 20th century, so that it is today's common sense. Very few people today really believe in God in the old sense. They say they do, but they really hope there is a God. They don't really have faith in God. They fervently wish that there was one and feel that they ought to believe that there is. But the idea of the universe being ruled by that marvelous old gentleman is no longer plausible. It isn't that anybody has disproved it, but it just somehow doesn't go with the vast infinitude of galaxies and the immense light-year distances between them and so on. So instead...
All right, so shalom. Hey, first and foremost, we give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, to honors to your apostles, elders at great millstone, salutations to you, Akim, that's out there doing the work of truth and sincerity. All right, so this is pretty much a quick hit, centered around the Western civilization, and he was speaking in regards to God and how the West, you Edomites, you so-called white people, you red Hebrew Edomites over here have forgotten the Most High. Okay. And by this being a Judeo, as they say, Judeo-Christian upbringing, America, I find it quite odd that they would, take the scriptures and, claim to be for God, but they don't keep none of his words. All right. So, I just had a few precepts. Lord willing, this is edifying, All right. So, first scriptures I'll start off with is Isaiah 58, I believe. Let me see. All right, Psalms 58, and this is pretty much to Esau, man, because you think that everything that they're doing is not being seen, and it is. There's no way you can hide yourself from the Most High, and pretty much with a few precepts I'm gonna bring out, it's gonna pretty much show you otherwise, that you cannot hide. Psalms 58:1, it says, to the chief musician, Altas Kith Michtam of David. All right. It says, do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? All right. And from what we can tell with the institutions that's set up to execute judgment and justice, they have done the opposite. In fact, they set up, prejudice laws, or through white supremacy, set up laws where they're prejudiced. Okay. They're prejudiced towards you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We get more harsher punishment when it comes to the prison industrial complex or the justice institutions, So no, they don't deal uprightly. They don't deal with equity. All right, verse 2, it says, yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. All right, so in your mind you weigh out, the wickedness that and the violence that you do in the earth, man. All right. So in the sense of gloating, Esau is always gloating about what they have taken over and what they have conquered, and who they're exploiting, you know. It showed, and also, they continue to, take pot shots at you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And yeah, there is some outrage, but nobody can really take a stand to really, shut their mouths, except for the Most High Yahweh, Baal Shem Yahushai. Okay, because that's exactly what he's going to do. He says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And that's more profoundly here in America. All right. This Western civilization who have forgotten, like he said, that old gentleman, which he was referring to, he was referring to Yahweh. Okay. Because he's a God of the Old Testament, the whole bitter, the whole, terrible, which, yeah, he is terrible. And, but his works are marvelous, and he's forever merciful, to the upright. All right. But we're going to see very soon what he's going to do to the wicked. All right. So here in America, they've forgotten about the Most High. All right. Especially this new generation. All right. They have these modernized terms, modern everything when it comes to the scriptures, even the modern doctrine, which has absolutely nothing to do with the sayings of whom they call Christ, which is Yahweh Shai. They deviate more and more and more from the scriptures as we start to unfold their doctrines. All right. All right. So it says the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth. Oh God, that's their might. All right. Your teeth, are used to tear in pieces. All right. So their teeth could represent their military, things that they use to devour, and they devour a lot. They devour sovereign people, and they take over their land. They kick them out of their land, and they destroy their history, and so on and so forth. And then the so-called white man, he gets to rewrite their history. All right. So it says, break their teeth, O God, O power in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. All right. And that's what the Lord is going to do. Let them melt away as waters which run continually. We're going to see that in the very near future. All right. With the nuclear holocaust that the Lord has put on their spirit to pretty much conjure up. And, that's why they building those weapons. And the biggest thing now going, if you're into, politics or foreign politics, is an arms race, arms dealings, arms race. All right. A race to build, nuclear arms. All right. All right. So let's get more into this, man. All right. Just continuously hitting on the point that, hitting on the point that, those eyes are watching you. But, Esau thinks, because he's in this new age and that God is not in the picture and they don't have to reverence the Most High, that they're not going to be judged. All right. But that's beyond, I should say that's that's just a falsality. All right. So 8 and 11, Ecclesiastes. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. All right. So because you Edomites haven't been, chin check, spiritual chin check is now actually, but since you haven't been approached or judged on the physical level, um, you continue to do evil on the earth. You continue to, defraud people. You continue to deceive people. You continue to degrade, all right, and deprive people from the necessities that we need on a daily basis: air, water, food, and all these things you poison. Okay. It says, because his sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men, again, the sons of men, which are the other nations, is fully set in them to do evil. All right. And that's pretty much practically covering all people. But what we know that Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And the ones that really matter are the ones that run the society. All right. Though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, which Esau, you were prolonged. The Lord gave you a certain time to rule. All right. Yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Lord, fear the Most High Yahweh, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days. All right. So you're not going to prolong your days. When your time is up, your time is up. And we're seeing your time inching ever so closely. All right. Which are as a shadow, because he feared not before God. See, we know that your time is short. You don't even fear the Most High, but all the things that you're doing in the earth, which is science institutions and all these institutions that you set up to beset the truth. All right. To defer the truth or divert the truth. It's going to come back around, man. All right. So it's well with us because we know eventually that you're going to be judged, and that the Most High he's going to definitely, come and recompense everything that you've done. All right. Because the Lord said what? Ecclesiastes 3:15, that which has been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and God required that which is past. So the things, all right, that were done in the past, that people are doing today. All right. And that's a spiritual marker. All right. Traits and things people do in the world are spiritual markers. All right. And these things indicate who we talking about when it comes to the scriptures. All right. So it says, and the Most High required that which is past. So the Most High requires the things that's been done in the past. So if you forgot, or it don't really matter, it don't really matter. All right. Psalms 9:16, and it just hits on with Alan Watt, which that's who you brothers was listening to. Alan Watt, he be breaking down some stuff, but he might, he don't know what's going on. All right, but sometimes people say certain things, and it just clicks. But it says the Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. See, at one point he was known throughout the whole earth, and now he's not. Because why? They have pretty much taken the Most High out of your minds. So if you say, if something happens to somebody, oh, we know immediately that was the Most High, that did it to him. Whether he was an evil man, whether he was a good man, all things come from the Lord, And but at one point, people thought like that. Immediately, they know it's the Most High. But nowadays, they think it's taboo to even think in that type of manner, to even think with a rational mind, which we know, as the scriptures say, man, all things are from the Lord, man. Good and evil are from the Lord. Life and death is from the Lord. All right. So by us knowing that, we would be deemed irrational, pretty much crazies. And that's how the world views us today, which is fine because, hey, the judgment is going to come back. The Lord's presence is going to come back, and he's going to make known who he is and who he's for. And that's for sure. All right. So the Lord is known by that judgment, which he executed. The wicked are snared in the work of his own hands. Hagion Salah. All right. So the wicked is snared in, they're pretty much their own work. All right. Salaki, I'm going to read it again. It says, the Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Ultimately, what does that work? The thermonuclear missiles. Okay. The ICBM nuclear missiles. Okay. So the Lord is he's gonna use those same devices. Or I should say, the same devices the so-called white man uses to perpetuate or to have that prowess all over the earth, to subjugate other nations, so he can have that fear, is the same, or so they can have that fear, is the same device that the Lord is going to destroy him with his own device, man, his own works, okay, of his own hand, okay. The wicked shall be turned into hell, meaning destruction, meaning death. All right, death, okay, and all the nations that forget the Most High. All right, and what does it mean by forget the Most High? Okay, it's talking about his laws, his commandments. All right, and then Edomites want to sit up here and want to be saved, and pretty much, don't want to have judgment, or they'll altogether, dispel the notion of being judged for the wicked acts that they're doing to the earth. Hold on, Salaki. I think it is. Let me see. All right, yeah, this is it. 2nd Ezra 7:19. And he said unto me, there is no judge above the Most High, above God, and none that hath understanding above the highest. All right. So no matter what institution the so-called white man uses to, pretty much push his bull crap all over the earth, he is not more knowledgeable than the Most High, Yahweh. Okay. He can't search out the heavens. He cannot search out the depths of the sea. Okay. He cannot do these things. And these things are all searched out by the Most High Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai. And we will soon, if we be part of that number, the elect, we will soon have a taste of that glory. All right. But I'll continue. It says, for there be many that perish in his life, because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them. For God hath given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. Now, we can strictly use this to deal with Israel. All right. But there's a common law. Okay. There's a common law, not trespassing against your neighbors. And the ones that seem to forget the Most High was obviously what we would call the Gentiles. All right. And we're not, a Salakia. So basically, the heathen nations, these are the only ones that seem to forget the Most High, all right, and his law. Common law, basic law, we know they didn't receive the law. We know Israel received the law, but there is a common law. And to be totally honest, the same law that Isaac had before you had the so-called 10 Commandments, or the tablets of stone, Shalakia, you had a common law, or a oral law, all right, which pretty much stated, basic principles, living amongst humanity, all right, and it seems as though they continuously broke these things, and they continuously do these things today, but it is what it is, and the Most High sees everything, man, all right. And he said he will not at all acquit the wicked. So, all right. Let me see if I can find this really quick. I think that's it. It's not. All right. So, Salakia. Nahum 1 and 2. All right. So, and I'm going to end on this. It says, the Most High is jealous, and Yahweh revengeth. The Lord revengeth, and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, meaning his enemies. And of course, he has enemies. All right. And he will reserve wrath for his enemies. All right. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. All right. He rebuketh the sea and maketh it dry and drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languisheth, and Carmel and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. All right. So he's going to make those, inhabitable places uninhabitable. And that's how you're going to know that the judgments of the Lord are more so when he starts to show his more miraculous actions. When the so-called white man tries to come in like a flood, he's going to lift up a standard against him, So that was pretty much it. It was just something I put together quick, just heard that little snippet. And, I'll just, hey, do a lesson on it, All right. I think it was one scripture I was supposed to start off with. Revelations 11 and 8, Revelations 11 and 8. All right. Because it tell you that, I'm going to read it. Revelations 11 and 8, it says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. All right. When you look that word up, crucified means to be crossed out. All right. And this is, a future prophecy regarding America, which is the Western civilization. They have forgotten, the Most High. All right. They have forgotten the terror of the Lord. But I believe in the scriptures, man, and tell you, man, that the Lord is going to be known. He's going to do righteous things. Terrible things in righteousness. All right. Okay. So, and he's going to make his name known in the earth again, And with that, I'm going to say, Shalom. All right. Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, the honesty apostles, elders, Zachary, millstones, salutations to Yakim, Shalom.